Well, hello there. I mean, hello there. That wasn't a spooky voice. I don't know what I'm trying to do. What's up, everyone? It's a surprise, special, spooky Sunday. SciVive, something. I don't know. I felt like streaming. Felt like a good idea. I had a decent day. I got a lot done. I have been really not feeling well the last couple days. I've been heat sick on and off, which has been strange because it's actually been cooler. So that's a little frustrating, just a little bit. But doing fine now, feeling much better, and just realized I was not using the correct mic. That must be much better. At least I hope so. Gosh, goodness gracious. Let's see. I think I'm going to wait for a few more people to join. Oh, yeah, 4 people watching. Hey, all 4 of you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in on this Sunday night. You ain't got nothing better to do you? No, hopefully I will bring some joy, happiness, love, and spookiness to your Sunday. This is Salty, in case you haven't met him yet. This is my new pet, Salty Boy Wrigglesworth the Third. He's a zebra spider, and if you look up the scientific name for a zebra spider, you will find out why I named him Salty, possibly. So I want to read a little bit of SciVive. It's like, spooky season. We're going to sit around the campfire and read stories and tell ghosts. Speaking of ghost stories, how about that SEC, huh? Woo, scary. Gary Gensler, what a ghost, huh? That guy, creepy, super creepy. It's true. There's a lot of really scary, crazy shit going on in the world, and I'm fortunate. I feel that I'm not the kind of person that dwells on that, but there's a double-edged sword there, right? I've definitely been naive in the past, and that has not fared. That's not been great, right? You don't want to be blind to what's happening in the world. And I feel so grateful that we've got so many people in our community who are well educated. They have their pulse, their hands on the pulse of what's going on. Not just, and this is the coolest thing about this community, right? Especially our Hexagon, PulseX community. Not only are we surrounded by some of the best and brightest in terms of developers, coders, people that are into finance, right? And that already, to me, as someone who is not mathematically minded or business minded in that sense, that's already awesome and very much something I admire. But in addition to that, most of those people are not just smart in a book smart kind of way. They're smart in a, I know what's going on in the world, and that's part of the reason why I'm in crypto kind of way. And I think that that's true for many people in crypto, definitely not all, as we see here and there in all these different, narratives, and I don't even know where to start with that. There's a lot of people who come in here and think they're going to make a quick buck, and that's what they think crypto is. And it can be, for sure. It can be that if that's what you want it to be, but it can be so much more. And that's again why I am so overjoyed that Hex is where I came into a community within crypto, and I get to stay here. Y'all, whether you like it or not, I'm here for 5555 motherfuckers. So let's see here. I am going to say what's up to the chat. How about let's do that? Woo! What's up, chat? All 6 of you. Hey, while I'm saying what's up to the chat, 7 people watching. Bam! There's 7 of you. I'm gonna wait. No, I'm gonna wait till one more person tunes in, and then we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play the game that I played on effing Hangout. So we've got Crypto Coffee. Oh, it's Crypto Coffee in my chat. He's the first. Cute. I mean, nothing. I said nothing. Oh, PulseChain Kitchen. You are usually first. Oh, there's 8 people. There's 8 people. So real quick, as Pulse Chain Kitchen laments, I am going to pick. I'm putting a number in my head, and I want all 8 of you, if you can, if you are willing and able, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 479. So each of you, everyone in the chat, write one number between number 1 and number 479, and I'm going to pick one of those numbers, and already know which one I'm going to pick in my head. So I think you've been first before, Pulse Chain Kitchen. Hey, also, if you want to come stream on my stream, you are more than welcome to do that. I know that you wanted to come out on Up and Hangout and hang out, but this is also, I don't, I've never had anyone take me up on the offer, but I am very much open to having people come hang out on this stream. So if you're up for it, holla. I was gonna be first. Me. Next time. Gotta be quick with it. Danny Boy, also not first. Y'all, so slow. Pulse Chain Kitchen with the death chef knife hearts. Cannibal chef, says Pulse Chain Kitchen. Cannibal chef for Halloween. I like that. That sounds fun and exciting. Have you seen, what was it called? The Menu? Hold on. Pulse Chain Kitchen, you as a chef, I'm sure you've seen this movie. I hope you've seen this movie. Yes, The Menu. Let me know if you've seen The Menu, especially because you just said Cannibal Chef. Like, if you haven't seen this movie, you have got to see this movie because you're a chef and you just said Cannibal Chef. It's on your list now. You're welcome. Danny Boy says, this community has the most intelligence I've ever come across on the web. Very smart people in different aspects of life. And I'd like to add to that, Danny Boy, in real life as well. I mean, as a perfect example, the person who is responsible for me being in this community in the first place is Crypto Kool-Aid. Now, I met Crypto Kool-Aid on the dance floor. We used to live, he lives in Austin now. It's funny, we're like ships in the night. We both lived in Austin at the same time. Then he moved to Cali. Well, when we were living in Austin, we both were into drum and bass. We'd both show up at the same drum and bass night every week. And this motherfucker would be in my space. He'd be dancing and doing all his twisty turny things and sweating up a storm and just being crazy. And I was like, bruh, I just want to dance in my little bubble and you are impeding upon my bubble. So I was not a big fan of him at first. But then I got to know him and we got to know each other, and I love that man so much. So that's how I met Crypto Kool-Aid. I had no idea he was an ICO influencer. He did a lot of that in 2017. I didn't know he was in the crypto, no clue. He ends up telling me a thing or two in 2017 about crypto. Fast forward a few years and, here I am. He's told me about HEX and starts to tell me that, I'm your friend. I know you trust me, but I want you to watch these other streamers and watch this other content. So I did. And that's how I ended up here. Well, since that moment, I've traveled all over the United States, and nearly every time I mention his name, or if someone there who knows me and knows that Kool-Aid is the reason I'm in this community, when his name is mentioned, just the awe that people have of that man's brain. And he's just one great example, right? Like, he just happens to be a very close friend of mine, so I get to hear people talk about him in that manner. And I had no clue. I knew this man for years and had no idea the brilliance and the level of fuck 5D chess, like 10D chess, like levels upon levels upon levels, and it's just, he speaks Larry sometimes. And I'm just like, bro, I can't, I don't, it's a way over my head. But there are other people who are smarter than me that tell me how smart he is. You know what I mean? Like that, so it just blows my mind. Yes, the most intelligent people that I know. And I love that because at a young age, I always wanted to challenge myself. I told myself that I would, and this is in hindsight, not kind of the best idea, but I wanted to take a college course every semester for the rest of my life because I never wanted to stop learning, right? I don't have to do that now. We have YouTube, we have the internet, we have so many things that I can learn from instead, right? And people around me. So to know that I, in a way, still am pursuing that, right? I'm still continuing to learn and continue. And that's what I love about crypto in general too, is that I'm never gonna stop learning because there's always gonna be something new. We're on the cutting edge. We are literally on the edge of innovation, and I love that. So, yes. Hexoween! Hexoween, I love it. Hextember. Just hex everything. Hex it all. Danny Boy says, I was a homeless, hopeless person before RH, before Hex. Richard Hart helped me out in many ways. Wow, man. And you're not alone, right? Like, oh, I can't think of his name right now. Someone just came out with a video. I can see it. I can like see it in my head. He just today released this video of it's called Hope, and it has Richard Hart in his SciVive stuff for a few things. If anybody knows that video or can think of who made it, go ahead and link it or tell me and I'll link it so everyone can see it. And that video was great, but it featured Alan, right? Abit. So, Abit was in a very similar spot. And I'm sure that there are others. I'm sure there are many others that we don't know about that were either homeless or nearly homeless or had nearly nothing and took a chance on Hex, right? And are now living comfortably, to say the least. Hex Glenn says, evening, guys. Hello, Hex Glenn. Good to see you. Sandra Larson. Sandra, I miss you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope I get to see you sometime soon. Hearts. Hearts to you. All right, so Sandra's number 1, 369. Danny Boy's number 2 with 243. Hex Glenn is number 3 with 465. RG3. I am not a witch. I'm not a witch. I'm your wife. That's from I think A Princess Bride. Anyways, I am a witch. And going in for the kill here, Crypto Coffee with number 369, which is number 5 is what I picked in my head. I said the 5th person to put a number is who I'm going to go with. So 369, Crypto Coffee. How how fitting, sir. Which is your Crypto Coffee 369 is his handle. So I'm gonna read like Danny Boy put 369 too. So you both win. I am going to read from page 369 on the SciVive book, from the SciVive book, from our scriptures. Yes, the SciVive. I am the SciVive mistress, seductress, temptress. What do you want to call it? I feel like there's a better word that has nothing sexual to do with anything, but we're just gonna go with it. It's fine. I told you I'm feeling spicy tonight, so we're just gonna move forward with all that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read, and then I'm gonna come back to the chat. So page 369 out of SciVive. Wait for it. Wait for it, boys and girls. If I had my other mic out, I would do an ASMR reading. Maybe I'll do that next Sunday. I think I'm gonna try and stream maybe next Sunday. We'll see. I'm gonna try and do spooky streams here and there between now and Halloween. So 369, 369. Here we go. 66, 67, 68, 369. Okay. So I'm going to start a little further up because there's a chapter that starts right up here. That's like the very bottom part of the previous page. So this is the very end of page 368 to page 369 in a wonderful book called SciVive, which was written by Richard Hart. And it's a great book because you can pick it up and pick a page like this and read it. And you don't have to have read, say that right? Anything before or anything after. It's just all great little snippets of advice. So here we go. Bad information is worse than no information. Here are 2 examples of people who you might think are qualified to give you some good advice, even though they are not. Women on getting laid. This is the same reason that if you were to ask a girl, what's the best way to make you fall in love with me? They could answer you. They can try and answer you truthfully. Whatever answer they give you will be entirely wrong because there's nobody in the world that probably has less experience getting girls to fall in love with them than that girl. Second person, customers on being sold. It is the same thing with sales. If you were to ask your customer, hey, Mr. Customer, what's the best way to sell you this thing? He's going to tell you, give me the best features and the best product at the lowest price. When in reality, that's not the case. It might be to tie your product to Michael Jordan. It might be to put a limited time offer on your product, or it might be to add something to the purchase of your product, like McDonald's did with their Happy Meals by including a little game piece for a game. There are all types of different ways to sell a thing, and the people who know those things are the salesmen. People who don't know these things are the people on the other side of the transaction, the purchasers. Why is this lesson important? In this life, the best way to teach people a thing is to relate to what they already know, which is basically what you're doing when you're speaking to them in a language. You're not speaking to them in a language they don't speak, you're speaking to them in a language they do speak. If you believe, as you should, that you must speak the language that the people understand, then it's in your best interest to use analogies that are the simplest, most agreeable, most understandable that can get your point across. And then this is that was one chunk, and here's the second chunk on page 369. Make analogies. Blah, 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 blah. Try that again. Make easy analogies to help people understand. If someone needs to open a dictionary before they can understand your analogy, you're doing more harm than good. For instance, Richard Dawkins decided to say that ideas were like genes, and that just as genes find their way to be executed in reality through living beings, so do ideas find their way to get executed into reality through living beings as well. The problem with this analogy is that few people understand biology and phylogeny. Oh, I love SciVive. I've learned so many words because Richard has a great vocabulary. With all those, okay, so let me read it. The problem with this analogy is that few people understand biology and phylogeny with all those fancy words. It's hard to understand genes, it's hard to understand mutation, and it's hard to understand recessive and dominant traits. That's all complicated. Therefore, trying to understand the way knowledge travels in the world using a harder to understand biological parable or analogy is not the most effective way. So, SciVive has invented the idea of an ideological invasive species. That's much easier to understand because people know what an invasive species does. It comes in and it dominates all the other things that are there because it developed in a more hardcore place. In order to survive in that hardcore place, it had to be extremely efficient and resilient. Then it arrives in Lazyville, where species that haven't had to become as badass are, and it goes there and it takes over. You see that same thing with ideas. That's what capitalism did to basically all the other ideas in the world. I like that analogy. That's pretty cool. That's what an invasive species does. It comes in and it dominates all the other things that are there because it developed in a more hardcore place, like a hardcore flower. In order to survive in that hardcore place, it had to be efficient and resilient. So it's similar to the idea of, right, ideas being like genes, right? Like, or ideas being like an invasive species. So I love that. I love that Richard will take an idea and, just like he says, he stands on the shoulders of giants, right? We all do. So he's taken something that Richard Dawkins said, and made it better. That makes more sense to me. The invasive species analogy that Richard comes up with definitely is easier for me to wrap my head around than comparing the ideas to genes. So love it. Thank you, Crypto Coffee, and everyone else for competing in my SciVive what are we going to read now thing. All right, I'm just going to skip over all these numbers. And here we go. Kool-Aid is a cool cat, 100%. PulseChain Kitchen says, oh, snap. No, I haven't. I was going to have a white coat with a blood heart with a knife in it and white eyes. So super cool. Definitely go see the menu. Watch it, find it on Netflix or something. You will really appreciate it, I believe. RG3 says, let me some Kool-Aid. Me too. I'll take a glass. Cold one with ice, please. I ain't serving nothing, y'all. I ain't serving nothing but sass. All right. RG3 says, every time I learn something, I have to forget something for lack of storage space. Sandra Larson, what a great response. PulseChain Kitchen says, my brain is out of storage, RG3. Lols. Sermon hour, I love it. I hope you do. I hope you do. This is, must be the wrong stream. Hex, Mr. Chuck. What's up, Mr. Chuck? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in as always. Hex is a real grassroots movement to fix finance. PulseChain is real DeFi. SciVive is philosophical wisdom, 100%. 100%. And I'm so grateful that that's where I ended up in this community. I really just love that SciVive kind of became my stepchild, and because it's, it's Richard's baby, but I might have adopted it a little bit, which is fitting because I'm adopted as well. Omar Ayala says hugs. Thank you. I like hugs. I'm a big fan of them. Mr. Chuck says you should be a SciVive succubus for Halloween. Did you know, Mr. Chuck, that I'm going to actually be a succubus? That is actually a thing. Are you agreeing with that, sir? Interesting. Facts, says PulseChain Kitchen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's it. I'm out. I'm out of here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? Hosting F and Hangout was interesting, to say the least. I tried to be very neutral and really just allow everyone to do what they needed to do and speak what they needed to speak. I think that it is good to have a place for, people who need to air their grievances or talk about this, that, and the other thing to do so. But it's just tough. Like, I really just have a hard time with drama. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like being a part of it. I don't like being in the middle of it. And I saw both sides of the argument. If y'all want to watch, go watch. But I'm not going to say much else other than I just love everybody. And while I want everything to be peaceful and kumbaya, I know that that's not the reality. All I can tell you is that I still stand on the solid ground of saying that I have never bought anything other than Hex or Pulse. I still haven't even bought PulseX yet. That'll probably be my next purchase. I mean, eventually down the road. I've been gifted a lot of other things. I've been gifted NFTs. I've been gifted Texan Token. I've been gifted Poor Pleb. I have some fucking BitBoy coin that someone gifted me as well. I've been gifted ink. So I hold all 5 RH products. Whilst I did not buy 2 of them yet. Wait, what am I missing? Am I missing something? Hex? Maybe it's EHEX and PHEX that I'm thinking of? EHEX, PHEX, Pulse, Ink, Pulse, EHEX, PHEX, Pulse, PulseX, Ink. That's it, right? That's the 5 tokens? Am I right? That's gotta be right. That's gotta be right. All right. Let's see. What is going on here? I am high degree says, I want Richard Hart twerking. Don't we all? Don't we all? I do too. It was really nice to see him have more of a, sassy Richard tweet. I liked seeing that. If you didn't, or you don't know what I'm talking about, which most of you probably do, but I'm going to share it anyways. Let's go. I want to share a couple tweets. So we're going to go to Richard Hart's page. I am going to read this wonderful, sassy Richard Hart tweet. I love it. This just really goes to show, who's been right this whole time about Richard not disappearing and the fact that he's going to come back and that he hasn't abandoned us. I have been shouting it from the rooftops, motherfuckers. Richard hasn't gone anywhere. He's busy. He got shit to do. So let's read this lovely tweet from Richard Hart. I'm going to share the screen. Present. Share screen. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. All right, so let me just make sure. Oh, cool. I can read it from here. Richard means hard ruler. He said hard. Hart means passionate. Hard and passionate. I'm sorry. Spicy. I told you, spicy. Win means dedicated. I don't give up. I win. You've watched the dead bodies of those who thought were smart float on down the river. Mashinsky, SBF, Do Kwon, Suzu. They're all in jail now. They're all in jail. And what did they all have in common? I spoke out against all of them publicly and they didn't like me. Oh, and they took people's money into a common pool with the expectation of profit, critically from their entrepreneurial and managerial effort. This is the opposite of why crypto was invented, of course. I've been begging and I'm still begging you to hold your own keys to save you. Don't pick up pennies in front of freight trains. Not your keys, not your coins. Like, how many times does he have to say it? How many times do we have to say it? We repeat often what Richard says. And I'm not using the royal we. Maybe I am because the princess is here as well. Okay. I raised 27 million. Excuse me, ma'am. I raised 27 million for medical research charity. I called the crypto price top accurately for free. I called the watch price top accurately for free. I produce self-help books for free. T.me/SciVive. I produce free self-help content for free. I fight for your rights in countries I don't even live in for free. HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX were given away 2000s for free. You could say I'm into freedom. Now ask yourself, of those that speak ill of me, what are their accomplishments compared to mine? How are they spending their time now? Are they fighting for your rights? Are they educating you? Do they give it all away for free? Where's their free self-help books? Where's their millions raised for charity? Where's their free and open sourced software? Satoshi abandoned Bitcoin after just 2 years of it having a price. Millions of Bitcoin users were savaged because it's crippleware. They didn't have real DeFi to try and earn yield or trade or nearly anything else you can do with Ethereum or PulseChain that you can't do on BTC. So they put their money into the coffers of evil men, centralized entities that are the opposite of why crypto was invented. And it wasn't just the Bitcoin maximalists that caused the horror. It was regulatory capture as well, where the incumbents are protected by rules that not only can't be followed, but which purposely are never created so that you might never follow them. The crippleware enthusiasts and the regulators are responsible for the billions of dollars lost to the centralized entities crypto was invented to destroy. Does only a few centralized exchanges left seem like a free and open market? And who is crippling that market? The regulators. Regulators? Sorry. And who benefited from all the centralization in just a few entities? The scammers and the incumbents. Who lost? You. And those that didn't listen to me lost far, far more. By the way, what if Bitcoin was going down in part because people were selling spot to buy discounted grayscale shares? The discount to NAV is now less than half it was months ago. Someone help me make that make sense. I don't understand what that means. The discount to NAV? I probably know what that means without knowing what that means. That'd be great. Someone smarter than me, tell me what that means. Anyways, the discount to NAV is now less than half it was months ago. Another example of centralization at work. Imagine how much happier the Bitcoin price and the environment would be if mining didn't require so much money be handed to the power company. Whoa, wait. Imagine how much happier the Bitcoin price and the environment would be if mining didn't require so much money be handed to the power company, had a couple chip I think he meant and a couple chip manufacturers. PulseChain solves this. Yes, it does. What should you be focused on? Writing relevant comments to proposed rules, robustness from attack, privacy, being ready for the end of the bear market. Did Richard Hart just call the bottom of the bear market? Did Richard just call the end of the bear market? We are better than those that attack us in our words and our works. We will win. Yay! Yes, we will. Yep. I believe that 100%. Very, very cool. If you have not seen it yet, let me share with you. Here, I'm going to stop sharing this for a minute. There's a tweet that I put out. And there's actually, like, I think Richard retweeted it too. There's a super easy way for you guys to go create comments. Like, it's stupid. Oh, here it is. It's this next one. So let me go back to sharing the screen. Do, 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 do. Share screen. Here we go. This right here. Go here. Go here and do that. They made it super, super easy. And if that's not the right one, there's another tool for you to be able to do that as well. So anywho, back to the comments. La 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 la. PulseChain Kitchen says, have you noticed Richard has been posting a lot lately? I mean, he does that. I think people forget and people don't notice and all that jazz. But Richard goes back and forth between posting. Like, he'll post like a few things in one day and then he won't post for weeks. And then he'll post like a couple things a day and then maybe like 5 things the next day and then he won't post for a week. Right? Like, I don't think there's anything different. Worth a rewatch, the effing hangout. Kinda. Yeah, I agree. Kinda. Good. Also, great stream on Wales Only today. Wales Only one. Kind of went over that, and I said a little bit of my piece in the comments there, and I'll just leave that at that. Chris Side Effect says, "Yo, hello, friend. It was good to see you the other day. I'll be back in Austin soon. I am High Degree says, let's have some fun. Live your best life. That's what I do." Danny Boy says, it's not fair to like adults arguing. Side Effect says, great time to buy PulseX, 100%. Like I said, I will try when I have some more cash money to do so. Just bought more Hex Pulse and PulseX. Beautiful. Love it, friend. I am very proud of you. Also, wouldn't be here without this guy, for sure. While Kool-Aid was the one who told me about Hex and really kind of got me into it, Chris literally held my hand and helped me buy my first Hex and everything. So appreciate you, friend. PulseChain Kitchen says, what about the post Richard reposted of crypto coffee? Everyone should do that. 100%. Yes. So if you look at either Coffee's Twitter or Richard's or mine, last night, if you find the tweet where there's a guy yelling into a megaphone, I added Coffee's video, one from Hex Futures, one from ID Block, and one from Corey Costa. And then in the comments of that tweet, I also added everything that Richard has said about the SEC comments and how to do them, including that tweet that I just showed you, where it just like chat AI can do it for you. So check that out. Man, I'm getting hot again. This blows. I don't understand, you guys. It's cold outside. It's not even like, maybe it's there's got to be something going on with my crazy body. I don't understand it. It's 58 degrees outside and I'm hot. Maybe it's the bus. Like, maybe it just like, I need to open windows or something, which that's tough too, because I don't have screens on these bus windows. So I don't want to get a bunch of bugs in here. You guys. Oh, bull market. Bring me a new bus. It's fine. It's fine. It'll happen. I am High Degree says, shame on you, no Pulse X. Damn, I'm unsubbing. No, I have Pulse X. I sacrificed for Pulse X. Come on. I have Pulse X. I just have not purchased any since it's come out. So, I mean, I definitely have a bag. In fact, it might be my biggest bag. Yes, RH Shaken says RG3. Chris Side Effects says, RG, what's up? All right. Pirate Love, Side Effects, Spicy. Susie Q in the house. Hello, Susie Q. She says, hi, beautiful. Glad I caught you. I'm having a wonderful birthday month starting in Cancun. Yep. I am loving my pool floaty. Good to see you, fam. Yeah, girl, get it. Happy birthday, Susie Q. That's awesome. Are you a Libra like Richard? It's Libra, and then Scorpio season, perhaps? That's Shay making the room steamy, says PulseChain Kitchen. Ooh, motorcycle. Speaking of steamy. Yeah, I don't think I'm making the room steamy. I think it's just I've been warm over the last few days. Like, I overheated a few days ago when I was driving because I was not smart and I thought it was not that hot. And so ever since then, it's just been like, I've been constantly like, if you guys could feel me right now, I'm literally radiating heat. Like, I am a space heater right now. It's very silly. PulseChain Kitchen says, meow. That's my sweet baby cat. Oh, ATX Crypto in the house. ATX Crypto says, tell Sophia I say hello. Also, what's up, y'all? ATX Crypto, thank you for being a wonderful cat sitter and looking after my sweet baby kitty. I appreciate you and your lovely lady for doing that a lot. But I can't hold her right now because she's hot too. Um, yeah, everyone's saying what's up. Let's see. Crypto Copy says Grayscale GBTC is trading 16% lower than the underlying Bitcoin it represents. I think this and this is what RG3 says, difference between the discount and the spot. But what was that? Oh, this native asset value. Okay. So, okay, is it native asset value or net asset value? Net asset value? So the net asset value is the difference between the discount and the spot, which is a 16% lower. Did I say that right? Did I get all that right? Am I a winner? Yeah. All right. So that's what that part of Richard's tweet was saying. And thank you for explaining. I appreciate you guys. That's why, again, that's how I started. I started the stream talking about I love that I get to learn on the daily in this community. Like expanding my brain is something I will never stop doing. So I really love it. I love it. I'm so on that tip right now, Chris Side Effects. Loving this chilly Texas weather. Me too, but I don't understand why I'm still 1,000 degrees. You guys can see, you see how red I am? Like, it's like I got sunburned or something, but I'm just warm. I don't understand. I feel like I'm Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something. I'm so I want it to be 30 degrees outside. I'd be fine with that right now. I really don't get it. This is really strange. Maybe it's my light is like too. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this down. My light is at 3%. I'm putting it back. I'm putting it down to 1%. Whew. I mean, I did say I was feeling spicy. Maybe that's what's going on. All right. Yeah, Side Effects. I saw that, man. Congrats. $10 raise, dude. Slavko treats you well. I'm glad that he does because you are a great mechanic. You are very dedicated to your job and you do great work. And thanks again for checking out the bus. I appreciate you. Danny Boy says Wales was fire today. 100%. ATX Crypto says when Grayscale's products trade at a discount to NAV. And am I saying that right? Or do we say NAV or do we say NAV? It means you're buying the assets in the fund for less than their current market value. It's just like getting a $100 gift card for $90. Got it. Ugh. 90s. The 90s in California today. You poor thing. I'm so sorry. I mean, you love that pirate hot thing. It's fine. Sandra Larson says caffeine. Sandra Larson, do you mean that if I'm drinking caffeine, that would raise my body temperature, or should I have caffeine because it'll lower my body temperature? So it's crazy you bring up caffeine, Sandra, because it's not crazy. It's synchronistic because you know me. We're here. I've been drinking more caffeine than normal lately. And part of that is maybe it's like a weird cycle because I woke up this morning with a headache because I felt like I was heat sick. And I did a bunch of shit. I had a little bit of baking soda. I've been taking baking soda just a little bit every day. I had some zeolite. I had water with different salts in it. And so like electrolyte water and then just regular water. I did all of that. And then I took a cold ass shower and it was not hot today. I mean, I don't think it broke 70 degrees where I was. So I did all of those things, took a cold shower because I was just like, I don't want to have to, like, I don't want to be reliant upon caffeine or coffee for like to not feel this way. And none of it worked. And then I drank a cup of coffee and I felt fine. But then later, like a few hours later, I felt unwell again. So I've never really had this much of an issue with my body overheating, especially with it being not hot. So yes, that's the problem, Travis, is I am hot. It's not fun. It's because I'm a witch, I guess. All right, fine. I'm just gonna. Bugs don't like the cold. That's true. That is true. Maybe if I open my windows, I'll be better. I'll try that in a minute. Just eat the bugs. I don't want to. I don't want to eat the bugs. Although I have eaten an ant once and it tasted like blue cheese. Next. X Glenn says LOL. RG3 says witches are hot. They burn at the stake. That's what happens. IMI degree says 1,000 equals $1,000 equals 92 million pulse X. It's gonna be the biggest gainer by the X's. You know, I remember listening to K for K talk about that back in the day, and I don't think he's wrong. Speaking of smarty pantses, he's one of them. So I think he's super stoked on Pulse X for a reason, and I think that he's one of the guys that did some maths and figured out that that is going to be the thing. But hey, luckily, you know what? I hold all of it. So beautiful. Danny Boy says, I am in the Canadian wilderness at the moment. No bugs, too cold. When does it get too cold for no bugs? Because I think I'm about that life right now. I can't handle this. Um, People saying happy birthday to Susie Q. Yes, ma'am. Not so I'm just gonna not read. I heard Wales Only today talk about how he doesn't read the comments because if he did that, he'd be there for 20 minutes for each comment. And I'm almost getting to that point. But this is an interactive stream, so that's kind of what my whole point is to read a lot of the comments. But I have decided to not read the comments where y'all are talking amongst yourselves. You know what I mean? Old Drippy says, "Hello, SJ. Good to see you. Drink some cool water." That's a good idea. I mean, I stay hydrated. Like I drink water all day. Danny Boy says, "Still think EHEX blasts off the most X's." I agree. Not gonna lie. I could see that happening easily, for sure. I mean, I know nothing. No one has a crystal ball. Dan Ed says, "See you soon at ATX." Yes, please come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm Dan Ed. I said see you soon at ATX." Because I'm not gonna remember. No offense. But there's a lot of people that will say, "Hey, I'm gonna be there," and this and that. But you should also come to Dallas. Dallas is gonna be fun. That is next Friday, this coming Friday, the 20th. So just a few days from now, we are gonna have a party. There's gonna be barbecue. I'm very excited for that. I not gonna lie, I moved to Texas as a vegetarian. Within a year, I was no longer a vegetarian. Dan Ed says, "Good job." Anyway, says probably coffee version is truest. What do you mean by that? Travis says, "One day I'm gonna drink a beer with crypto coffee and wild SJ." Absolutely. Except I'm not gonna be drinking a beer. You can drink a beer and I'll have some water with a lemon. Maybe Pellegrino. Maybe a hard kombucha if I'm feeling really saucy. And I can't speak for Crypto Coffee. He gets to say what he wants to say. Just Monica says tea cools the blood, right? What kind of tea? Because there's herbal, there's non-herbal. I have lots of tea. I can drink tea. Chris Side Effects had to run. Bye. Miss you, friend. Just crack open some wine. That is not the answer for me, girlfriend. I'm telling you, anytime I drink, if I'm feeling like this and I have alcohol, done. That's a no-go for me. Like it's not a good combination for sure. So not gonna go there. But I appreciate the idea. I am high degree says SJ, you need to cool down in northern England. It's 47 degrees and I know. I cannot wait. I think next year I'm really gonna make a plan to go to New England for that specifically because I have a good friend who's a photographer and last year he went up to the New England area and his pictures, it was just, I mean, I've seen pictures before of it, but I've never had the chance to experience that. I've really never experienced the changing of the seasons, right? Because I lived in California for most of my life and then I lived in Austin, Texas. We don't do seasons in either of those places. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward. In fact, I mentioned that to someone not long ago that I really want to go experience that this next fall. So not this year. Got a lot of plans. Hey, maybe we can arrange for the PulseChain tour to be in that area around that time because that would be lovely. That would be lovely. And birthday girl Susie Q says, "Balance, I say, Libra, both is my favorite word." Yes, very cool. Try fresh juiced celery. So what I'm gonna have to do is I would have to go to a place that has that. I can't run a juicer in the bus. I can eat celery. Does that does that help? And I know there are other, I feel frustrated because, well, Not much I can do. I'm in the middle of Texas. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Texas right now, and, I'm not near any major city, and the closest Walmart is, I think, still a half an hour away from where I'm at. And that's, like, the biggest, like, store I could go to. So that, like, I'm gonna check around the town I'm in right now and see if there's any kind of, like, a natural store. You never know. Every now and then there could be, but this isn't Northern California or Portland. You know? I'm in the middle of Texas, so kinda highly unlikely that I'm gonna find a place that has juice like that. But I will keep that in mind. I also know that watermelon, pineapple, there's several things that I could have. I wasn't prepared. I thought, "Oh, it's cooling down, like, I'm not gonna need all these things." But of course, what is that? What's that called? There's some theory or some law, like when you think it's not gonna happen, it happens. So, anyways, let's see what's up. This is King Daniel. Oh, King Daniel! Yay! Okay, cool. Yeah, see you in Dallas for sure. Awesome, excellent. Well, yeah, we've met before, so I am excited to see you again, friend. Super cool. Looking forward to talking with you. We yeah, had a great time hanging out last time I was up in Georgetown. I got kicked out of Georgetown, Daniel. I got kicked out of Georgetown. They straight up said, "You cannot RV here." And I felt so bad. It was just a whole kerfuffle, and Eco Builder, bless his heart, he just had to put up with a bunch of bullshit from the city, and I really hope that they're not gonna fine anyone or anything because it was just a whole bunch of ugh, ugh, ugh. People just don't have anything better to do than these ridiculous government jobs where they go and, like, pretend to make rules and regulations and then, like, go enforce them for such stupid reasons. So that's neither here nor there. Looking forward to Dallas. It's going to be a party. Austin's going to be great too. I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, it's kind of like my farewell. Austin will kind of be my little farewell party for me because I've lived here the last 15 years and I really enjoyed it, but I can't live in Austin anymore. Part of it is just it's too hot for me. There's not a lot of places I really feel comfortable parking the bus, and I miss my family. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with my family as much as I can, in the next couple of years just because I haven't. My niece was a baby when I left California, and she's 16 years old now, so I wanna spend some more time with her before she runs away to college, and, my parents are getting older, so, I know that I've seen my grandparents pass, right? Like, I still have, my grandmother's still living, but one of my grandmothers. But, when you see your parents go through losing their parents, it's one of those moments when it's like one of those moments in life where you really start to have a change in perspective, and you realize, mommy and daddy, they're not going to be there forever. And if you haven't had, like, I was very independent at a very young age. I almost emancipated my family when I went to college because my parents had gotten divorced and I was still 17 when I started school. So I had to have them fill out all this paperwork and it was just going to be a hassle. And I nearly divorced them. Emancipation is like, right? I think that's the right word. Um, that sounds like I'm not using the right word. But anyways, I nearly got rid of being, I tried to be a legal person at the age of 17 because I just had to take care of myself by that point. So anyways, point being, I didn't get along. Not that I didn't get along with my family, but I didn't spend a lot of time with them. I was very independent. I So open book, that's me. Got married really young at first and left the house and all that jazz and just kind of never looked back. And I have a great over the last few years, especially my relationship with my parents has gotten a lot better. I just haven't been physically there with them. So I really want to do that. And I'm looking forward to that. And why did I go on that tangent? Oh, Austin. Because I'm leaving Austin. And yeah, I'm not gonna live there anymore. I don't know where I'm gonna live after this next year. We'll see. What is it? Portugal. Portugal's looking pretty cool. I want to spend some time in Europe next year. That's what it sounds like might happen. I think the KSB team and the PulseChain Tour team are going to converge and do some awesome things in Europe. So we'll see how that goes. $3,000 is almost a million EHEX. What a trip. That is super cool. Like, y'all, I mean, you guys, like, I never thought I'd see Hex under a penny. I never thought that was gonna be a reality for me. So anyone that, wishes they would have bought lower, like, what are you doing? You should be doing that right now. You should be buying right now. Coffee says, "I'm sure we'll cross the paths, Travis. I'm sure we will." Just Monica says, "Green tea with a bit of honey works a treat." I will do that tomorrow morning. I mean, I just don't feel like drinking green tea is a great idea right now because I wanna go to sleep and it's got caffeine, right? But good idea. You all saying hi to each other. Oh, I watch all your YouTube's Crypto Coffee. Oh, look at that. Is a fan. RG3 says, "Dallas will be fire. See you all there to eat some dead pig and cow." Such a gentleman. He's not at all. He's a fucking dirty ass pirate. That's what you get. Susie Q, October 19th, and I have a 9 in my birthday like Richard. Let's talk about longevity now because I'm getting younger this year. Yeah, girl. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. That is the mentality. That is the mindset. And it's interesting. I almost want this. I had this thought. I thought maybe this will be the last time I celebrate my birthday because I've heard and anecdotally seen that people who don't celebrate their birthdays tend to live longer and look younger. So I just might be celebrating my last birthday celebration this year. So that's November 28th. We're gonna do something in Cali. I don't know what yet, but I want to throw a party for my birthday. It's on a Tuesday in Southern California somewhere, probably in the LA area. So keep your eyes on the prize for that. Hex Betty says freedom of speech was challenged in Texas. Crazy. What you talking about? Travis says when your bus broke down in Shreveport, I could have been there within 2 hours, but I didn't know about it until it was already fixed. Bummer. Yeah, Shreveport. What happened in Shreveport? There's been so much crazy shit going on with this bus that I can't even remember anymore. I think it must have been. Oh, that's when I broke down. Yeah, that's when I legit, like, it wouldn't drive anymore. It turned out it was the fuel filter. That's what it was. So, it worked out because, like, the bus, like, stopped, like, dead stopped. The cops had to come and help me push it off the street into a parking lot. And then as I was explaining what was going on to someone on the phone, I was like, "Yeah, and it won't, here, listen, it won't start." Well, I clicked it over and it started. And because I had just called a tow company to take me down the road. It was only a 2-mile like drive to the tow company was only going to have to tow me 2 miles to the auto shop. Well, as I was explaining that and the bus clicked over, I was like, "Oh shit, it started." Let me get going. Let me just go ahead and, like, I'll drive myself. And in that moment, I lost my gloves. Um what else did I do? I lost the lid to my my little case on the back of my little, like, hat. I have a little rack on the back of the bus, right? And I have one of those, black bins with a yellow lid on it. And in my excitement to get to this auto body shop that was going to take my bus that was just a couple miles down the road, I just closed the lid, forgot about the gloves, took off, and the lid flew off at some point as I was driving down the road. But luckily I got there, they fixed it, and everything worked out. So appreciate it. Appreciate you. What part of Cali, SJ? Somewhere in Los Angeles, because in theory, things might be changing, but in theory, I have a flight the next day after my birthday, really early. Um, we'll see. But most likely in the Los Angeles area, especially because it's just a couple days before the PulseChain tour cruise takes off. PulseChainTour.com, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put that link in the chat because why the heck not? In fact, I'm actually going to link you to the cruise itself. So we are going to Cabo out of the port of Los Angeles, and you should come too. That cruise leaves on December 1st. My birthday is November 28th. And it's just going to be a blast. In fact, like, if I have a party and Hexicans are coming, like, we might just all celebrate. Like, Marco the Hexican, it's his birthday around that time. Black Hexican, her birthday's around that time. Hex's birthday is around that time. Y'all, Hex is a Sagittarius. What? Represent. Makes sense. I love it. Yes, ATX Crypto, Murphy's Law. That's what it was. When you, like, you don't prepare for a thing, or you think a thing's not gonna happen and it happens. Almighty Hexagon. Huh, how sweet. Te amo. Te amo. RG3 says, "Yep, they all waiting for me to to die now." No, no. RG. The vultures are circling my bags. You gotta think young. Like, look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Susie Q's getting younger. What you doing? Huh? What you doing? you, you gotta change that mindset, huh? That's how we SciVive. That is how we SciVive. Twice. Both of those things. Looking forward to seeing y'all in Austin. SJ Coffee, RJ3. Only Juanito, por favor. I'm pretty sure we've met before. I'm almost positive that we've met. If you are who I'm thinking that you are, you went on the cruise, yes? Correct me if I'm wrong. And we also met, I think, before that. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Almighty Hexagon says, Richard tweets recently have made me little kid excited. Dude, see, here's the thing. I never left that state. I never stopped being little kid excited. Like, that's why I've been doing what I've been doing and why I've been doing these streams and like telling people that like, we ain't going nowhere. Richard's gonna win. End of story. Need I say more? No, I don't. Pulse Formor says, hello all. Hexfetti says, you said Eco Builder and you had trouble parking your bus. Yes, we did. Because Georgetown is fail. RG3 says, Crypto Coffee is our best educator. Go watch his streams. RH Ecosystem Crypto course incoming. You know what, though? Hey, there's a link. Oh, snap. It's me in surround sound. This right here is a link to Crypto Coffee's brand new and improved PulseChain PulseChain course. If you know anyone who is brand new to crypto, if they need hand-holding, if you need a refresher on how all this shit works again, click that link, ladies and gentlemen. And if you, like many of us, are suffering in this bear market, you can use the code all caps bear market to get 25% off of that course. So check that out. Susie Q says, I was just talking to a woman, a hospice worker. She said it's all about making experiences together. For real. It really is. Yeah. I mean, if you're working in hospice, you know, like you're seeing people kind of on their way out, right? So that is absolutely, I think Richard makes that point as well, right? Like what do people at the end of their lives, like, you know, what is it that they wish they would have done or wish they would have had? So it is, it's absolutely all about the experiences. RG says, oh, that bus, that goddamn bus. That's right. Oh man. So yeah, check out the cruise, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be lovely. This bus, my mom's so cute. So like I said, I'm going to spend more time with my family, and my mom lives at this house, and her next door neighbor for a while, they had a RV parked in the backyard. And my mom was like, well, you know, what if when you get here, you can just park it, you know, like our neighbors did, which is a great idea. And I would love to do that, but I'm not sure if it's going to I'm not sure if it's going to fit through the gate. So she sent me all these pictures of the fence that's currently there, and it's definitely not going to fit. Like if we want to do this, I'm going to have to remove the current fence that's there, which might not be too terribly hard to do. If you live in Southern California and you've got muscles that are at least as big as this, yeah, you like that? Yeah. Please come help me move a fence. I'm gonna enlist some buff ass hexagons to help me get my bus in my mom's backyard, because that's where it's gonna stay for a minute. So yeah. Susie Q, I love your idea, SJ. Forget the birthdays. Celebrate every day. Exactly. You know, it's crazy that, and I've had that notion for years now. It's only recent that I've decided, you know, why do I need a day to celebrate my birthday. I should be celebrating my life every single day. But I've already had the that very similar idea in my head for a very long time. Like, so my ex-boyfriend, cool dude, we're still friends. He and I kind of had this same mentality. Like, we never celebrated Valentine's Day. We didn't have an anniversary. Like, we didn't do that kind of shit because we tried to make moments special as often as possible. And I really appreciated that about him. I was like, like I'm not a like I was gonna say I'm not a chocolates and flowers kind of girl, but I'm a chocolate kind of girl. So there's that. 75% plus dark chocolate. Thank you very much. I don't like cut flowers. I worked at a flower shop and I just don't like them. If you're gonna get me flowers, they need to be growing and alive. I don't know why I'm giving this information to the internet. My address is. You can send those flowers and chocolates too. I'm just kidding. But it was just, like it was a way for us to just not have to wait to make a day special. Like I really strongly believe that. I think that we should be celebrating each other. We should celebrate love. We should celebrate life. We should celebrate, every day that we can. That also poured over in like, another great example of that is my mom, right? Like our parents maybe had their china cabinet, right? So you've got your fine china. Why wait? Why wait until Thanksgiving to use it? Use it every day. And I did. And I broke a ton of shit. Like I had very nice crystal glasses from different things and all this stuff from all over the place. And I'm not a dainty lady, obviously. Like I just like shit happens, right? So but you know what I mean? Like, instead of waiting to use this stuff, I used it and I made great memories while doing so. So I really strongly believe that having that kind of mentality and that kind of youthfulness about you is absolutely why I look the way I do. And people think I'm much younger than I am. Someone left a comment on my most recent I don't remember if it was my last live stream or if it was my last um short, but they commented and I want to look now and find out like why they would have said this. Oh, it was my last live stream. They said something to the effect of Richard's not going to save you. Like grow up, you're a 16-year-old in a 35-year-old body. And I was like, I'll take both of those compliments. Thank you very much. But it was just like why who what I'm not asking anyone to save me ever. Like I'm already fine. Like I am more than good. Richard's just going to enhance my life with the products that he's built and everybody else's, whether you like it or know it or not. They had a Bitcoin logo as their picture, so I'm pretty sure that's why they were salty. Travis says, I like your free spirit. Thank you. I do too. Susie Q says, hearts and smiley faces. Don't forget to go to Pulse Passive Income. Oh, by the way, Crypto Coffee says the course is already out. Make your referral links and get paid to onboard people. You get $110 if you refer someone and they buy the course. Or you can just click on my link and share that one. Right? Crypto Coffee. That's the affiliate user sign. You don't want to see that. What you want to do is you want to click my link and share it. Please. Please share my link. Can I get paid in Hex? Hey, that's a cool thing to try. PulseChain Kitchen, because I'm trying to make this a podcast, by the way, folks. That's why I read a lot of the comments the way I do. I want this to be something that people can listen to. So if they're not watching, they can hear what I'm talking about. So PulseChain Kitchen asks, can I get paid in Hex for the referral? And Crypto Coffee says, I mean, feel free to buy Hex with it. The money is sent via PayPal. So it is regular money. Regular old fiat. Meh. D Bunny in the house. Sake bomb repeat. Yes, maybe. Maybe a singular sake bomb. We'll see. I'm on a clean thing right now. I haven't had a drink in weeks. And before that, it was weeks too. Like I had some wine at one of my harvest hosts. But in between that, it's been like a month. Like if you pulled that out of the equation, I probably hadn't had a drink in a month. I'm like way on this like goddess vibe thing right now. And Hex Betty says, gotta measure the roof. Why I gotta measure the roof? For what? I don't understand. Susie Q says, I eat bananas and raw cacao like SJ said. I just made some. It's in the freezer. Isn't it great? I almost did that tonight, but I think I don't know why this heat sickness is plaguing me. I don't know if cacao would have any effect on me. I've been eating more of it than normal. So I didn't. I had a couple pieces of a chocolate bar that I had left over, and I just like I ate a piece of chocolate and then I ate the banana. It was, it did what it needed to do. Got that little sweet tooth fix for me. So yeah, also, if you all didn't know, Susie Q's mentioned this a couple times. I recommended this as something that will give you that fix. Like if you have a sweet tooth like I do and you want something sweet but you don't want to eat a candy bar or eat ice cream or, something that's got added sugars, you can take a banana, and usually this was the trick, was that I always work with what I've got. That's been something that I'm really fortunate and like super blessed with, is like I can make a meal out of almost anything. Like I'm really clever in that way. So I had some bananas that were in the fridge and they had been going bad, right? They were getting mushy. Something you'd maybe make banana bread with. Well, instead of throwing them away, I just kind of like used a fork to whip them up really well, and I added cacao, just cacao powder, raw cacao powder, and I mixed that up with a banana, and I had basically like a chocolate banana pudding, and it was delicious. And so that's the tip right there. Do it to it. Human, humina, humina. Crypto Copy says, "Dang, SJ is kind of ripped. Don't beat me up." Watch yourself. I will. I'll do it. Hex Fetty, if I was 10 years younger. Don't need Roman holidays to punctuate the great days of our lives. 100. So I kind of maybe roughly get that reference. Are you referring to the movie Roman holidays? I want to know. PulseChain Kitchen says, this YouTube account is going to be my future podcast. Neato. And Uncle Larry says, thanks for the stream, SJ. Pulse Former. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, good to see you, Pulse Former. I know you said you came in earlier, but I'm just clicking. I've been listening to Lo-Fi Girl for weeks, all day, every day. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, what? Oh, it's been an hour, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm still hot. So I'm going to go and I'm going to open up these windows and I'm going to pray that no bugs except for Salty here come into my bus, because I don't like them. I don't get creeped out, actually. To be honest with you, after working on a farm, I used to be super scared of spiders, and then I worked on a farm. You get over it real quick. They're everywhere. Scorpions, spiders, you name it. You name it, I've seen it, I've touched it, I've probably maybe eaten it. Who knows? But hey, Crispy. It's SJ. Not AJ. I get that a lot. I have a lot of people that call me AJ here and there. So anyways, it's time. It's time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think I had like 20-something people watching at one point. That is nifty for a Sunday night. Yeah. Buy Hex, buy Pulse, buy PulseX, SciVive, read some of that. It's all good stuff. And, just take care of yourself and take care of your friends and your loved ones and your spiders. Take care, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.